There's a technique Louise Hay discovered, a technique that creates such powerful, invisible magnetism that people feel an inexplicable urge to contact you. And today, this technique will be revealed. If you're waiting for a message from someone specific, if you want them to seek you out without you having to chase them, if you want to discover how to become energetically irresistible, then you need to know this secret. Because Louise Hay didn't just teach self-help. She taught the energetic physics of relationships. And what she discovered about human magnetism will forever change how you attract people. In the next 20 minutes, you'll understand why some women receive messages constantly, while others wait eternally. And you'll learn the exact technique that transforms you from invisible to irresistible. Louise Hay passed away at 90. But before she left behind a revolutionary discovery. A discovery about how energetic attraction works in the modern world. She discovered that there's a specific frequency that makes men feel an uncontrollable urge to contact you. And this frequency can be activated in just 7 minutes. And you'll discover every step of this activation. I know how you feel. I know you look at your messaging app, hoping to see their name pop up. I know you sometimes type messages and delete them. I know you wonder why they don't seek you out like they used to. Louise Hay understood this pain, because she too waited for men who never called. But at 50, after decades of studying human energy, she made a discovery that changed everything. She discovered that attraction isn't about physical beauty. It's not about mind games. It's about energetic frequency. And more importantly, she discovered how to raise that frequency consciously. Louise realized that when a woman is on the right frequency, men feel an inexplicable magnetic attraction to her. They can't stop thinking about her. They feel impulses to contact her. They feel a need to be in her presence. It was as if she emanated an invisible, but irresistible energetic perfume. Louise called this feminine quantum magnetism. She discovered that this magnetism has nothing to do with chasing. In fact, the more you chase, the more you break the magnetic frequency. The secret is to become so energetically complete that you attract automatically, like a magnet that doesn't even need to move to attract metal. Louise tested this theory on hundreds of women over 40 years. The results were always the same. Women who applied the technique correctly started receiving contact from men who hadn't spoken to them in months. It wasn't coincidence. It was directed energetic magnetism. But Louise discovered that there's a specific window, an energetic moment where the magnetic attraction becomes most powerful. And this window lasts exactly 7 minutes. Louise discovered that during these 7 specific minutes, if you apply the correct technique, you create what she called a magnetic pulse, an energetic impulse so strong that the person physically feels the need to contact you. It was like sending an energetic signal directly to their subconscious. And the technique is simple, but it must be done exactly as Louise taught. Louise discovered that the best time to do this technique is at 9 o'clock at night, because that's when most people are relaxed, with their energetic defenses lowered. It's when they are most receptive to subtle influences. For 40 years, Louise observed patterns. She noticed that women who did the technique at 9 o'clock at night received energetic responses more quickly, usually within 24 to 72 hours. It wasn't superstition. It was optimized energetic timing. The technique works like this. First, you need to enter a state of complete self-love, because true magnetism only works when you're not needy, when you don't need the person, but simply desire them in your life. Louise discovered that energetic neediness repels. Magnetic self-love attracts. Second, you need to connect with the version of yourself that they fell in love with, the confident, happy, complete version. because it's that frequency that created the initial attraction. Louise always said, "Don't try to attract someone by being an inferior version of who you are. Become the superior version of who you always were." Third, you need to send what Louise called an energetic invitation, not a desperate message, but a subtle invitation for them to reconnect with the frequency of joy you shared. And fourth, you need to completely release the outcome, because attachment to the outcome breaks the magnetism instantly. Louise discovered that the universe only answers requests made without desperation, with confidence, with the certainty that you deserve love. But the specific 7-minute technique has even deeper elements. Louise discovered that during the first minute, you must connect with gratitude. Gratitude for everything that this person brought into your life, even the difficult lessons. She discovered that gratitude is the most magnetic frequency that exists. When you feel genuine gratitude for someone, you automatically rise to the frequency of love, and love attracts love. During the second minute, you should visualize the most radiant version of yourself, the version that smiles easily, that laughs effortlessly, that loves her own life, because it's this version that they missed. Louise discovered that men don't miss sad women. They miss women who radiate light. And when you reconnect with your own light, you automatically awaken longing in them. During the third minute, you should feel deep self-love. Love for the incredible woman you are, for the journey you've lived, for the strengths you've developed. Louise discovered that when a woman truly loves herself, she emanates a frequency that awakens the masculine desire to win her back. During the fourth minute, you should connect with abundance. Visualize your life full of love, joy, opportunities, because abundance attracts abundance. Louise discovered that when you vibrate scarcity, you attract scarcity. But when you vibrate abundance, even people who have distanced themselves feel the impulse to return to participate in that abundance. During the fifth minute, you should send pure love to this person. Not needy love, not conditional love, but free, generous love, without expectations. Louise discovered that pure love is the most powerful force in the universe. And when you send pure love to someone, you create an irresistible, energetic connection. During the sixth minute, you should visualize a harmonious reunion. It wasn't forced, not dramatic, but natural, flowing, full of mutual joy. Louise Hay discovered that when you visualize positive scenarios without attachment, you program your energy field to manifest harmonious encounters. And during the seventh minute, you must completely let go, surrender to the universe. Trust that if it's meant to be, it will be, and if it's not, something even better is coming. Louise Hay discovered that the act of letting go is what activates the magnetism, because when you let go, you stop blocking the natural flow of attraction. But Louise Hay discovered something even more powerful. She discovered that there's a specific phrase that should be spoken after the 7 minutes, a phrase that seals the intention and activates the magnetism instantaneously. The phrase is, "I am irresistible to those who are right for me. I attract love easily, and those who should be in my life are." Louise Hay tested this phrase with thousands of women, and the results were consistent. Within 24 to 72 hours, they received some kind of contact from the person they had in mind. Sometimes it was a direct message. Sometimes it was a like on social media. Sometimes it was a casual comment. But there was always some energetic movement. Louise Hay discovered that the universe always responds to authentic magnetism. It may not be exactly as you expect, but it's always a response. And when the response comes, Louise Hay taught that you must react in a specific way. You must respond from the frequency of abundance, not scarcity. If he sends a simple message, you respond with genuine joy. but without desperation. If he likes a photo, you don't freak out with happiness or try to force more interaction. Louise Hay discovered that how you react to the first signs determines whether the magnetism intensifies or breaks. Louise Hay's golden rule was, always respond one frequency higher than the one he offered. If he sends friendly energy, you respond with joyful energy. If he sends joyful energy, you respond with loving energy, but never 2 frequencies above, because that breaks the natural flow. Louise Hay observed this for decades. Women who responded with the slightly higher frequency always managed to elevate the connection. Women who responded at the same frequency maintained the status quo, and women who responded much higher or much lower broke the spell. It was pure energetic mathematics. But Louise Hay discovered that the most important thing is not receiving the message. It's becoming the kind of woman who naturally receives messages, becoming magnetically irresistible, not just to one person, but for a lifetime. Louise Hay discovered that women who do the 7-minute technique correctly not only attract the specific person back, they completely transform their ability to attract love in general. It's as if they discover an energetic superpower that works for all aspects of life. Louise Hay saw this happen repeatedly. Women who came looking for a technique for a specific man left with a complete transformation in their magnetic frequency. They began to receive attention from men who had never noticed them before. They began to attract professional opportunities. They began to manifest incredible experiences. It was as if they had learned the secret language of the universe. But Louise Hay always warned, the technique only works if you truly love yourself. If you're doing this from a place of scarcity, of desperation, of, I need him to be happy, the technique not only fails, it can repel even more. Louise Hay discovered that the universe has an infallible scarcity detector, and it never grants requests made from scarcity, only requests made from self-love. Therefore, before applying the 7-minute technique, Louise Hay recommended that you do an honest self-assessment. Are you doing this because you genuinely love this person and would like to reconnect? Or are you doing it because you can't accept that it's over? If it's the second option, Louise Hay advised working on self-love first, because no technique in the world can replace the fundamental need to love yourself. But if it's the first option, if you are truly in a place of self-love and simply would like to reconnect with someone special, then the 7-minute technique can create miracles. Louise Hay saw this happen thousands of times. Couples who reconnected after months of silence, relationships that were healed through energetic magnetism, loves that were reborn stronger than before, and all because a woman learned to vibrate at the right frequency. Louise Hay always said, you don't need to chase anyone. You need to become someone worth chasing. And when you learn the 7-minute technique, you don't just attract a specific person back, you become the kind of woman that people miss when you're not around. You become irresistible, not through games or manipulation, but through magnetic authenticity, through radiant self-love, through energetic completeness. And that is the true magic of Louise Hay's technique. It's not about getting a message on a messaging app. It's about transforming into the woman who naturally receives the love she deserves. But now I will reveal the deepest secret of the technique, the element that Louise Hay only taught to her closest students, the element that multiplies the power of magnetism by 10. The secret is called energetic echo. Louise Hay discovered that when you do the 7-minute technique correctly, you don't just send energy to the person. You create an echo, an energetic reverberation that continues working for 72 hours. It's like throwing a stone into the water. The waves continue spreading long after the stone has sunk. Louise Hay discovered that most people do energy techniques as if it were a single event. They send the energy once and expect immediate results. But real magnetism works like music. It's not a single note. It's a melody that repeats, intensifies, deepens. That's why Louise Hay created what she called the magnetic echo protocol. For 3 consecutive days, always at the same time, you repeat a concentrated version of the 7-minute technique, but not exactly the same. Each day has a specific focus. Day 1, Echo of Gratitude. On the first day, you do the complete 7-minute technique. But after the 7 minutes, you add an 8th minute focused exclusively on gratitude for the connection you already had. Louise Hay discovered that gratitude for the past creates magnetism for the future. When you energetically honor what you lived, you open space to create even more. During this 8th minute, you mentally relive the best moments with this person, not with painful nostalgia, but with pure appreciation, as if you were thanking the universe for allowing you to meet. Louise saw women who did this receive energetic signals that very day. Sometimes he'd post something that reminded you both of each other. Sometimes he'd show up in places you used to go. Sometimes mutual friends would start mentioning him. By chance, it was the echo of gratitude creating waves in the energetic field. Day 2, Echo of Abundance. On the second day, you do the basic 7 minutes, but you add an 8th minute visualizing total abundance in your life. Abundance of love, joy, opportunities, connections. Louise discovered that when you vibrate with genuine abundance, you become magnetically irresistible, because abundance attracts abundance. During this 8th minute, you imagine your life so full of wonderful things that you don't even need a specific person. You desire them, but you don't need them. Louise always said, desire without need is the most magnetic state there is. Women who did the echo of abundance frequently received contact on the second day, and it was usually a more substantial contact. Not just a like, but a message, a comment, a real interaction. Day 3, Echo of Completeness. On the third day, you do the basic 7 minutes, but you add an 8th minute connecting with your total completeness as a woman. Louise discovered that men are magnetically drawn to complete women. Women who don't have emotional voids that need filling. During this 8th minute, you feel deeply that you are whole, that you don't need anyone to complete you, that you are a complete goddess who simply shares her abundance with others. Louise observed that women who did the echo of completeness frequently received the most significant contact on the third day. Sometimes he'd call, sometimes he'd send a long message, sometimes he'd show up in person. It was as if the universe tested the 3 frequencies, gratitude, abundance, completeness, and responded with the level of reconnection you energetically demonstrated you were ready to receive. The mystery of 72 hours. Louise discovered that 72 hours is the time it takes for an energetic intention to completely traverse the quantum field and return manifested. She noticed this pattern over decades of observation. Energetic techniques done correctly always produced results within 72 hours, or they produced no result at all. 72 hours was the magic window, the time it takes the universe to process requests made from the correct frequency. Louise also discovered that if nothing happened in 72 hours, it meant one of 3 things. First, you did the technique from a place of lack, not self-love. Second, the person isn't energetically compatible with who you've become. Third, the universe has something even better planned for you. And Louise always said that the third option was the most common, the magnetic mirror technique. But Louise discovered an additional technique she used when the 3-day protocol didn't produce a result. She called it the magnetic mirror. The technique works like this. Instead of sending energy to the specific person, you send energy to attract someone with the qualities you love in that person. Louise discovered that sometimes we fixate on a specific person because they represent qualities we want in our life. But the universe may have someone even better with those same qualities. The magnetic mirror allows you to attract the essence of what you want without fixating on the specific container. And Louise saw miracles happen with this technique. Women who did the magnetic mirror frequently attracted people even more compatible than the original person, or the original person would return completely transformed. It was as if the universe said, "You want these qualities? Here's an even better version." The secret science of timing. Louise also discovered that there's optimal energetic timing for different types of situations. If you want to reconnect with an ex who recently ended things, wait at least 14 days before doing any technique, because wounded energy repels wounded energy. If you want to reconnect with someone who distanced themselves without explanation, do the technique immediately, because unmotivated distancing frequently indicates a fear of intimacy, which can be dissolved with loving magnetism. If you want to reconnect with someone who is in another relationship, don't do any techniques directly. Instead, work on becoming the best version of yourself and trust in divine timing. Louise always respected free will. She never taught techniques to break up relationships or force situations, only to become magnetically irresistible through self-love. The signs it's working. Louise taught her students to recognize the signs that the magnetism was activating. First sign, you stop obsessively checking your phone because you are energetically confident that it will work. Second sign, other people start giving you unexpected attention because your magnetism becomes general, not specific. Third sign, you feel more confident and radiant in general because authentic self-love radiates to all areas. Fourth sign, synchronicities start happening. You see the person's name in random places, hear songs that remind you of each other, encounter mutual friends. Fifth sign, you have dreams or intuitions about the person because energetic connection manifests first on the subtle level. And the most important sign, you feel at peace with any outcome because you know you are aligned with your highest good. Louise always said, when you are truly on the correct frequency, the specific result becomes secondary because you know you will attract what is right for you. The turning point, Louise discovered. But at 80 years old, Louise made a discovery that completely changed her understanding of magnetism. She realized that the most successful women with her techniques weren't the ones who managed to reconnect with specific people. They were the ones who transformed so much during the process that they attracted completely new experiences. Louise discovered that the true power of the techniques wasn't getting him back. It was becoming the version of yourself who naturally attracts abundant love. It was evolution disguised as an attraction technique. Louise began to realize that the universe used the desire for specific people as fuel for personal growth. As if the universe said, "You want this person? Great. But first you need to become someone worthy of that level of love." And when women did the work, when they truly transformed into magnetic versions of themselves, one of two things happened. Either the original person came back, but now you were relating on a much higher level, or someone even more incredible appeared, because they had raised their frequency to attract superior quality. In both cases, they won. Louise Hay realized that her techniques were actually initiations, transformations rituals that used romantic desire as a portal to awaken feminine magnetic power. The protocol for guaranteed results. Based on this discovery, Louise Hay created a final protocol that she guaranteed worked 100% of the time. Week 1. Do the 3-day protocol. Echo of gratitude, abundance, completeness. Week 2. If there was a response, continue vibrating at the same frequency and allow the reconnection to develop naturally. If there was no response, do the magnetic mirror. Week 3. If there's still no movement, completely stop focusing on the specific person and dedicate yourself entirely to becoming irresistible in general. Week 4. Evaluate your life. If you're happier, more confident, attracting more love in general, then the technique worked. Even if it didn't work with that specific person, Louise Hay discovered that women who followed this protocol always obtained transformative results, even when the result wasn't what they initially expected. The final truth about magnetism. Louise Hay spent 40 years studying human attraction, and her final conclusion was surprising. She discovered that we never really want specific people. We want specific feelings, and we project those feelings onto specific people. When you want him back, you actually want to feel the love, the joy, the connection he represented. But Louise Hay discovered that you can generate those feelings independently of any person. And when you generate those feelings internally, you automatically attract external experiences that reflect those feelings. It was the law of attraction in its purest form. Louise Hay taught that the 7-minute technique works because it reconnects you with the feelings you want to experience. And when you authentically vibrate those feelings, the universe conspires to bring experiences that correspond to them. Sometimes through the person you had in mind, sometimes through someone even better. Your new magnetic power. Now you know the complete secret that Louise Hay discovered about human magnetism. You know you don't need to chase anyone. You need to become someone worth chasing. You know that the 7-minute technique isn't about controlling other people. It's about becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. You know that the 3-day protocol creates energetic echoes that reverberate for 72 hours. You know that the magnetic mirror allows you to attract the essence of what you want without getting fixated on the specific container. And most importantly, you know that the real goal isn't to get a message on a messaging app. It's to transform into the woman who naturally receives the love she deserves. Louise Hay's promise. Louise Hay always made a promise to her students. A promise she fulfilled thousands of times throughout her career. The promise was this: if you apply these techniques with genuine self-love, you will attract abundant love. It may not be exactly as you imagine, but it will be exactly what you need. And Louise Hay never broke that promise because she understood the fundamental truth about human magnetism. When you truly love yourself, you become irresistible, not through games or manipulation, but through radiant authenticity. And radiant authenticity is the most magnetic force in the universe. Your transformation starts now. Tonight at 9 o'clock, you have an opportunity. The opportunity to activate your feminine quantum magnetism. You can do the 7-minute technique and start the 3-day protocol. Or you can continue waiting for someone to reach out to you without doing anything to become magnetically irresistible. The choice is yours. It always has been, and it always will be. But remember, Louise Hay didn't teach these techniques for you to get a specific person. She taught them for you to discover your infinite magnetic power. When you discover that power, you don't just attract a message on a messaging app. You attract a whole life full of love, admiration, and meaningful connections. You become the woman who doesn't need to chase anyone because people chase you. You become the woman who doesn't beg for attention because you radiate such magnetic energy that attention comes naturally. You become the woman Louise Hay always knew you could be. The woman who has always been inside you, waiting to awaken. And when she awakens, you'll understand that it was never about getting him back. It was always about getting you back. The radiant you, the confident you, the magnetic you, the irresistible you. And that you is who truly deserves all the love in the world. The phone may ring tonight, or it may not. But if you apply what you learned today, something much more important will happen. You will reconnect with your own magnetic power. And that is the most valuable gift Louise Hay could have left you.